Hello, 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 everybody. How we all doing? Hello, Ghostly. You look very excited for being first. At this point, I came here for the music. It is very groovy. It's very groovy music. I'm very proud of it. All right, how is everybody doing on this fine 4th of July? Or at least here it's 4th of July. Hello, Princess. Bum, bum. All right, hello. Gotta come scream into the microphone. All right, we'll just go and switch straight over to writing cam. Go say I came in guns a-blazing. No, it's fine. I'm doing well. How are you? By all means, hey, Moon Runes. How are thee? Or thou. How dost thou? Yes, the princess is here, managing to let everybody know that she has not had the adequate amount of attention today. Even though she has been fed and pampered all morning. Isn't that right? Yes. Good. It's been pretty lax day. Well, that's good. That is good. It's the 4th of July. It's kind of... if you're going to be lax, you know, that's kind of the point of the holiday days. And that's how you enter a chat like a normal human being. I'm taking notes. Ghostly, no, don't worry. Ghostly, don't ever change. You can enter that chat however you can enter the chat however you would like. If you want to enter it with your squid creature, or just, it's fine. It's part of your wit. It's part of your wit and your strangeness, which is much appreciated here. Don't give me that freedom. It's fine, Ghostly here. Of anybody, you're harmless. You're the least person I'm worried about diving into stream with something crazy. But yeah, it's been a day. I'm kind of pondering. I was pondering earlier what movie I'm going to watch tonight. Although I'm probably going to play some... To be honest, I'm probably going to play some Final Fantasy 16 before I watch a movie, because that game is kind of like crack. But maybe Jaws, Jaws and Blowout are like my two go-tos, but Jaws is... I know you said that Jaws was like a childhood favorite of yours, Moon Runes, and it is almost perfection. There's something about horror movies, like creature feature horror movies in the 70s that changed everything. Like Alien, just one of my most definitely probably one of my favorite films ever made, let alone favorite horror films. And then Jaws, where they like took the sort of rubber monster to like an entirely different level of like deep anti-corporate existential horror, which I'm all in for. So anyway. Ghostly, you keep saying wit. I don't know if that means what you think it means. Don't worry, Ghostly. Plenty of it. I was just looking into that game. I wish I had the means to play it. I haven't watched it in so... oh, you're talking Final Fantasy, yeah. I know, it's kind of a drag that it's only... I think they're going to broaden what you can play it on, but I do know it's like only on the PS5 right now, which is really limiting. So like, yeah, it's kind of a drag that only people who have a PS5 can play it, which is unfortunate because it is a great game. I highly recommend it. It's been a long time since I've played a Final Fantasy game. I've been kind of off the train for a while, just because I was disappointed, really disappointed with 13. But this one has come back guns a-blazing, so I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah, Jaws is always a great rewatch. Moon Runes, it's a fantastic rewatch. I really like that shot in Jaws where the camera like zooms in on the guy in the lawn chair and the background goes spinny. Oh, you're talking about one of my favorite camera moves. That's called a push-pull. You actually notice that a lot of people do it. Spielberg does it really well in that movie on the beach, where you're talking about Brody when he's sitting on the beach, and the way that you get that effect is actually optically really interesting. That's all you remember about that movie. It's a really impactful shot. It's what you do is you get a zoom lens, a lens that allows you to, zoom in, kind of like you do on a video camera. You get a zoom lens, and then what happens is you either dolly in and zoom out, or dolly out and zoom in. And what it does is it creates a distortion in the space, even though the figure remains stationary. The perspective shift, the way that lenses compress space when they get longer or wider changes. So you literally get to see that change happen in real time, and it creates this crazy distortion effect that's really really cool. It's one of my favorite camera moves, so it's a good thing to remember about Jaws. Moonrunes, I need to watch new movies. Got any recommendations to start with? I love Ghostly. You're just Clue, 1985. I mean, Clue is a great movie, though. Clue is a fantastic film. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch anything with, oh god, why do I always forget his name? Oh my god, because he plays Frankenfurter and, oh god, I'm forgetting everything. Oh my god, thank you, Tim Curry, Jesus. The Dark, yeah, because I always remember him most prominently as the Darkness from Legend. But yes, thank you. Thank you, Tim Curry. Tim Curry. Yeah, he's fantastic in that movie. Clue's also a great, very on point for what, very on point for what Ghostly is writing with the whodunit. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of whatever. I'd have to know a little bit about your movie taste, Moonrunes. Although, how have you been enjoying the new Star Blazers? I don't know. Have you finished Star Blazers or 2199 or? Because that's a metric for everything for me, because I think the 2199 is a fantastic, probably one of the best modern day anime adaptations of an old 1960s anime. I'm trying to think. Ghostly, what do you what about Inglourious Bastards? That's a great movie. Inglourious Bastards, pretty much any of the revisionist history Tarantino movies. So Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I would all recommend, depending on your ability to handle violence. Because they are, with the exception, I mean, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is violent at the end. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is more of like a 1970s hangout movie in like 1969 LA. Oh, you're still working on it? Okay. Oh, okay, so you're getting close to the end. You're getting close there. Okay, yep. Glorious Bastards in theaters. Yeah. Boy, that was a while ago. It was like, I think I was a freshman in college when I went to go see that, or a freshman in, or maybe a sophomore. I don't know. I remember my brother showed up into town to take me to go see it, because I was like, I wasn't watching Tarantino movies, and he was like, you have to go see this one. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go see the new Tarantino, and I ended up loving it. Tarantino and violence pair like Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. That's true. I think Tarantino does violence, probably, at least entertaining violence, better than anybody else. You can have fun with it. You could definitely have fun with it, but I don't know if anybody does violence quite as well as Sam Peckinpah does violence. Although Tarantino pulls a lot from Sam Peckinpah, but violence, like Sam Peckinpah, you watch The Wild Bunch, that is, or like Straw Dogs, that like makes you rethink your life when you watch the violence in that. Let's see. I think I saw it with my dad. He loves anything to do with world wars. Oh boy. That's interesting. Yeah, because I like the war movies. I don't like war movies. I like movies can take place during a war, but I think I generally don't like war movies in general, because of just, you know, someone told me once, it's just all wars are is like young guys dying, and that's pretty much it. It's just not a compelling thing to watch. But there are great movies that have war as a backdrop that I think are worth watching, but not many recent ones. Tropic Thunder is a great movie. Tropic Thunder is a fantastic film. I like most kinds of movies. Okay, so if you like scary movies, yeah, Tropic Thunder is great. Tropic Thunder is better than it has any right to be. Scary and action adventure. Okay. Well, horror movie wise, I can give you like my top horror films ever made. Like, I'm trying to think if I've liked any recent horror films. If you haven't seen Barbarian, that one was pretty good. Barbarian, I wasn't as taken with it as a lot of other people were, but it was definitely one of the best horror movies I've seen coming out in recent memory. Have you seen any of the Robert Eggers films? Like The Witch, something I can find on a streaming service. I actually don't know. Is The Witch? I mean, The Witch is like hands down one of the best movies in general to come out in recent years. But I don't know if it's on streaming. Okay, yeah, The Witch I would highly recommend. The Witch is incredible. Is it on HBO? No way. Really? Is it on HBO? Oh. Or on Max? Okay. I haven't watched... I want to watch the new Renfield movie. I haven't watched Renfield. I'm trying to see... Because The Witch is just incredible. Okay, yeah, so if you have HBO Max or Max or whatever the hell they're calling it now... The Witch is on that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would highly recommend The Witch. The Witch is one of the better films I've seen in a long time. I don't know if they have The Lighthouse, but The Lighthouse is his second film, and I think it's his best film. That one's kind of like you think it's a horror movie, but it's actually a bleakly dark comedy. So, but I don't think I think it's on Showtime. I don't think it's on any of the normal streaming services. Let's see. Balls to the Wall, stupid movie with Nick Cage is Dracula. Oh boy. Moon Runes, you fit right in with the one thing that we all can agree on, even with my like hot, spicy, grumpy old man takes, is that Nick Cage is a national treasure. His newer movie. Oh, that was the one about him playing himself. I can't remember the name of it, but yes, the Nick Cage movie where he is Nick Cage, about him being famous. I've been a fan since I was young. Yeah. I mean, Nick Cage has always been... I grew up watching... I actually think he's... I know a lot of people watch his, like, bonkers stuff and think it's great, but he was... If you go back and watch, like, Raising Arizona, like the Coen Brothers film that he's in, and David Lynch's Wild at Heart, which is great. I mean, those movies are great films. And Nicolas Cage is so fantastic in them. So if you haven't seen those, I would definitely recommend Wild at Heart. That's an old 80s David Lynch movie. I don't know what anyone's tolerance is for David Lynch, but David Lynch, if you want, like, surreal, dreamy... very stylized film. Like, he's good too. If you like Twin Peaks is a masterpiece, all of it, from the old '80s show to the return from 3 or 4 years ago. Oh, Ghostly, why are you talking about Rubber? It still blows my mind that you have seen Rubber. Yes, that's the one with the tire. Oh man, it's just not even that trippy. It's just I mean, it is trippy. Oh man, Rubber, that movie. I'm also just shocked that Ghostly has seen Rubber. How Ghostly managed to watch that insane movie. I remember someone bringing that movie over when I was in college, being like, "You got to watch this drug trip of a movie." And I was like, okay, and we watched it. I was just like, well, this is kind of a dumb, weird French movie. What is this? Yeah, not like a cool French movie like, Amelie or City of the Lost Children or Delicatessen. A weird French movie. Like the really weird French movie. Oh, God. Oh, you saw that when you were 7? Okay, that makes sense why it made such an impression. 7-year-old made that bended reality. I'm shocked you saw that at 7. That's insane. Oh man. Well, yeah, now I'm trying to... I don't know. I have a laundry list of movies. It's like almost overwhelming, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. You can't go wrong, as I said, with David Lynch. You can't go wrong with... It was on Netflix in 2010. Yeah, I think I should make a list and put it in the Discord. All right, I will put the quote unquote the Wilight canon, the films that Wilight thinks all people should watch, that everybody should watch. Yeah, that's. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a list on there, and it will not contain Rubber. It is not going to contain that movie. No, Ghostly, Rubber is not going to be on there. Why? I also like the Wilight. Why? No, I'm not putting Rubber on that list. Come on. I can give you a bunch of trippy movies that will break your brain, that are far trippier and more bizarre than Rubber, than that stupid tire movie. Do it for the meme. No. I want the tire that goes back. I'll have an addendum that is the Ghostly recommends. The Ghostly recommends movies, and it can be you can just put tire over and over and over again, and then Clue. You know, just for some variation. And trust nothing. Yes. I'm trying to think if there was anything that I saw recently that really stood out to me, though. Like, of the movies that I saw, I mean, Tar came out last year. Tar was a fantastic movie, and After Sun. Oh, Bones and All. Moon Runes. It's kind of like an American road movie with cannibal elements, kind of like a horror road movie romance. It's got Timothée Chalamet in it. I'd probably recommend, like, Bones and All is a really good movie. It reminded me a lot of, like, old, almost like Badlands. It's really good. Ghostly wrecks are the epitome of a wet minefield. That's true. You and your road movies. Yes, me and my road movies. Yeah. I mean, they are good. Oh, Dune is fantastic. I highly recommend Dune. Dune is very, very good. If you like science fiction, if you've seen the original Blade Runner, I mean, Blade Runner is an iconic film, but the guy who did Dune, Denis Villeneuve, I always mess up his name, but he did the sequel to Blade Runner, which is also really, really, really good. Shockingly good. I don't think anyone expected it to be good, and it was, like, really, really good. With Ryan Gosling in it. It's very good. But I highly recommend The Dune. All right. Okay. Well, I think it might be time to get to words. Here in a bit. My animation style was inspired. Oh, very cool. By Blade Runner back in college. That's rad. I bet that's about the coolest thing your animation final could be inspired by, because Blade Runner is a perennial design. Hey, the kids are asleep. Welcome in. I hope you've been well. I did? Oh yeah, I did last night. Oh, thank you. Yes, I did. Yeah, that's shocking and shocking to believe. The one thing I do love about writing Twitch is how many people enjoy the work-alongs, because sometimes when I talk about it with some of my other screenwriting friends, they're like, people watch you write? That doesn't make sense. That's really bizarre. So, Ghostly, I remember when it was still in the teens. What a journey. Yeah, I know you've been here a long time, Ghostly. You've been here for a while. You are one of the OGs, indeed. Kids are asleep. Finally, oh no, recovering from COVID? Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. That's awful. Well, I'm glad you're, for as much as you can, be recovered from COVID. It is rough, man. It is no bueno. That stuff is... I've had a few friends who've suffered from, long COVID, and it wrecked them for a long time. Like almost a year, if not more. Well, I hope you are feeling better, and I hope you continue to feel better. The kids are asleep. And, gotta try to watch out for our health in these wild times. Ghostly facts. It's true. Yeah, I do remember you popping in real early, Ghostly, telling me to go watch that British show, which was a very good show, by the way. I can't remember what it was called. About the ghost detective agency, but it was very good. Kids are asleep. It was not great. I was pretty much stuck in bed nonstop, feeling like I was gargling broken glass and needles. That's awful. When I got it, I did have an awful, awful, awful sore throat. It like wrecked my throat. And also I couldn't sleep, which never happens to me when I get sick. When I get sick, I usually sleep a lot, but for whatever reason, it felt like my brain was on fire. It just could not sleep. It was really, really, really bizarre. Well, I hope it is a speedy recovery for you. The kids are asleep. Moonrunes, I feel like I'm going to have to start slow today, and by the end, I'll be on it. Yeah. I'm curious to see how well I'm going to get into the flow. I spent all morning just kind of, like, thinking about it, trying to, like, get my ideas together to hopefully make these sprints go real well today. So, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Yes, thank you, Ghostly. Lockwood & Co. Fantastic. Okay, so you couldn't sleep too. I assumed it was because I had stopped my meds while taking... Okay, yeah. It could have been that too, but for whatever reason, that's just how it affected me. It was really bizarre. One of the first topics we discussed, that's right, was Nick Cage. Some things will never change. Ghostly, we will always will always be an open forum for Nick Cage discussions. Particularly because I think I remember you coming in asking about Vampire's Kiss, which I was like, another movie that I'm like, wait, you watch that? Nobody watches that movie. Nobody watches Vampire's Kiss. So, pulling the bizarre movies out from the dusty bin, Ghostly. Kids are saying, good things about Lockwood. Didn't it get canceled though? Like so many good shows? Yeah, that's Netflix. That's just the Netflix rule. Thanks, bud. Ugh. Food. All right. Let's see. Ghostly. I had COVID back in March of 2020, and man, you got it early, Ghostly, and had it until around the end of May. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Jesus. We also got sick in March of 2020, but couldn't get tested. Presumably it was COVID, though. I feel like a lot of people got it then, early on. That was early, though. Is what I do. Yes, it did get canceled. I cry. Yes, my bead curtain. My giant eye bead curtain that watches over all. Oh, I'm sure you did scare the doctors back when it was the plague. I would be horrified. I'd be absolutely terrified. I was terrified. I was like a germaphobe. I didn't go out. I was, I'm still kind of a germaphobe, but I really, really didn't. I didn't go anywhere and was hyper paranoid for a long time when all that was going on, or in the early before any of the vaccines came out. Freaked me out. All right. I think it's about time for us to get rolling on these pages, especially since I have a limited amount of time before my neighborhood literally starts to explode. So, trying to get the writing and the streaming done before the world explodes. So, I will be kicking in. There we go. All right, time to read. Oh, you're doing some reading, Ghostly? All right, we are going to rock on the Prey soundtrack again, because that seemed to get the juices flowing last time in my brain. All right. Give me a second. Old man working computer. Here we go. There we go. All right. All right, everybody. Let us go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start with our first sprint. And yeah, happy writing, happy reading, and I hope it is a productive sprint for y'all, and we'll see you on the other side. And away we go. Welcome in, Raiders. We're the advisor. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just wrapping up our first writing sprint of the day. How goes it? How goes the stream? Thank you. Yay. Hopefully it was a good stream. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and call it. We're almost done. The bell is almost upon us. All right. In editing mode. And that's the end of our first sprint. Hopefully that was good for everybody. But yeah, pretty good in editing mode after finishing my latest. Awesome. Well, congrats on finishing your latest novel. That's fantastic. For those who don't know, my name is Wilight. I am a screenwriter and a filmmaker. And yeah, we're just I'm for National Novel Writing Month. We're doing I'm writing a horror western, but it's a screenplay, not a novel. But yeah, feel free to join us and write alongside. We pretty much just do work-alongs here, so you know, writing sprints and all those goodies. Did I start the timer? Okay, I did. All right. But that's awesome. What kind of novels do you write, Worthy? Same thing. Yep. I think that's mostly what most people, most of the writing community on Twitch, we all do generally, writing sprints and work-alongs. But yeah, sci-fi space opera. That sounds awesome. I grew up very much in love with space opera, more like kind of like Battleship Yamato, Star Blazers stuff. So I am all into, like, obviously Star Trek and early Star Wars. So, and like Lensman and all those weird sort of like very long operatic science fiction stories. So I love me some space opera. Macross, all those goodies. But yes, welcome in, of course. Influence of Star Trek and Babylon 5. Awesome. Very cool. Hello, Dystopia, Utopia, Autumn. I love your name. Dystopia, Utopia, Autumn. That's a fantastic name. You write fantasy, dystopian romance right now. Doing a high romance. That sounds wild. Moon, I didn't know that. You have a science officer insignia tattooed on your chest? That's awesome. That is awesome, Moonrunes. I did not know that. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Moonrunes coming in being a badass. But yep, we just doing our thing. It was a little bit of a slog this early sprint, but we'll see. I'm trying to clarify really what I want to have happen in each of these 4 sections, these 4 acts. Try to synthesize what westerns are tricky. I've never written a western, but I've written a lot of horror, so the horror part is coming easy, but it's trying to synthesize it with western themes. Tis difficult. I'm doing a summer camp World Anvil and Camp Nano. Man, you're doing that's a lot. That is a lot, Dystopia, Utopia. Summer camp, World Anvil, and Camp Nano. You're doing, it's a lot of writing. There's a ton of writing. Unfortunately, I wish I could do that, but there's not enough time in life, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me, I have to do too much. But very, very, very cool. Yeah. Well, hopefully that was a good sprint for everybody else. I know Moonrune saying things might be slow to start. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea how the whole second half of this entire thing is going to work. I've come to that. I've come to that conclusion the more I think about it. I wanted to do Camp Nano this month, but just found out today my wife got approved for a transfer to Ireland. Now I get to be in moving mode. Well, that's awesome. You get to move to Ireland. That's cool. Congrats on that. It's a gorgeous country. But yeah, I can see why, moving is a life involved. Yeah. Usually you can't do much else aside from move. But hopefully that goes smoothly. I don't know how far of a move that is from where you currently are, but hopefully it goes as smooth as moving a big move like that can possibly go. Kids are saying I'm doing camp, but I'm tracking writing time, not words, since I'm outlining it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of, I'm not tracking words on because I'm still breaking the story on this, so I'll be tracking words once I actually, and technically because it's a screenplay I should be tracking pages, not words. But Camp Nano doesn't really let you, or the Nano, it only does word tracking. I couldn't find page tracking, which is fine. I can make it kind of, it's about 22,000 words for a screenplay, so it's about, oh, maybe I just missed it. Maybe I'll have to look at it. I've barely been on the website, so I should probably look at it. They might. Oh, they use well, let me double check that. I have not deep dived. I could have missed it. Ghostly Twilight, like my mammy always said, when in doubt, add robots. Add robots. Then I've made a weird science fiction western. At that point, I'm just doing Jonah Hex. Like a Jonah Hex comic or movie. Just, space, like, weird robots show up in an old western town. Or I guess that's Westworld, in a way. It's pretty much Westworld. I'm currently... Oh, wow, okay. Oh, man, you're gorgeous. God, you're in Switzerland? That is gorgeous country. So it's not as bad as when we moved from the U.S. Okay, but still, it's moving, and moving is always annoying. Yep. It's never easy. It's always... There was a period in my life where I was moving every year, and I hated it. Moon Runes, you're moving states in August. Yep, that's coming up quick. It's creeping up. That's... I hate moving. I hate moving so much. It's gone from any official events, I believe. That's a drag. Well, it's fine. I mean, I'll be able to pick up with my word count once I get the... My goal was to have the story, or at least my scenes and beats broken down by the end of this week, and then to be moving on to pages starting the weekend next week. So the word count will bump up from there, more than likely. I think it's only available if you affiliate your project with an event. Got it. Yes. I'm so new to it. I literally just signed up, and I know Oizel had set up a sort of group for everybody from the Twitch who wanted to participate. Are we supposed to be keeping track of what we're doing? I think I forgot to pay attention again. It's only if you wanted to, Ghostly. There's no obligation, but I think it's National Novel Writing Month in July. So if people want to participate, Oizel had set up a kind of group thing on the NaNoWriMo website. And so everybody who wants to participate is kind of popping in. But yeah, I mean, Ghostly, you write every day, so I think you're fine. If you would like to join, I'm sure the link's in the Discord. But yeah, it was like you write all the time. I think you're okay. Yep, it's lovely here. Yeah, Switzerland is a dream place. I would love to live in Switzerland. Yeah, moving every year. Yeah, every year it's a rough haul, but luckily I haven't had to move in, oh God, how many years? 6 years? 2017. God, that's 6 years. So I've lucked out. I've been here for 6, but particularly when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was moving every 6 months to a year, like couch surfing or popping around, or just getting an apartment for a year and then having to move. It was brutal. But man, Switzerland. My dad used to go. My dad used to go to Switzerland. I've never been there. The closest I've been is Germany. Closest I've been is Germany and southern Germany, where all the mountains are, and like outside of Munich, and it is gorgeous. So I can only. I hope the time you had in Switzerland was delightful. Appreciating the mountains and all that. I'm a sucker for nature. I went to college in Colorado, so I spent a lot of time in the Rockies, and I really, really, really love. I just like mountains and trees and the woodland world. Even though I live in a metropolis of a city right now, I miss it. I do indeed miss it. Alrighty. Okay. Looks like we are about ready to start our next sprint, everybody. Hopefully things. I always say this. Hopefully things get easier. I feel like I always start to hit my stride at the end of the day. what? That's what those sprints come easy. You should totally visit, and yeah, the Alps are fantastic. Yeah, it's expensive though, but it's really lovely. Yeah, it's probably, is it more expensive than, I don't know? It's L.A. L.A., San Francisco. I mean, it's Europe, so it can be more expensive. But oof. But I would love it. So is the Nano thing a challenge for them? It's like trying to write a novel or set a word count and then reach the word count at the end of July. So it's kind of a challenge. Moon runes. That was one big reasons why I moved away from the West Coast. I missed the trees. There's not much in the way of greenery in Nevada. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. We're the advisor. Well, thank you so much for popping in, and lurk away. It's the same about as LA, San Francisco, except the food is much more, yeah. The same way as Norway. Norway was like that, where the food was really expensive, but it was also delicious. Delicious food. But yeah, thank you so much for popping in. Lovely to see ya and lurk away. We love our lurkers. And yep, all right, I'm going to switch the music up a little bit here, and there we go. Just looping it back around. And let's go ahead and get started on our I love that. Bird. The rad bird is cool. Rad bird is cool. And bird pen. Fantastic. I love it. All right, everybody, starting our next sprint. Yeah, the emojis are fantastic. All right, everybody, and away we go. Happy writing, and we'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, and that is our second sprint down. Hopefully it was a good one. 2 thumbs up for 2 successful sprints. I forgot to ask you, Ghostly, about your show on the last break, but a lot was going on. When you were in theater, would you study the whole script, including the bits where you weren't on stage? I read the whole script every day for like 3 months for the last one I was in, even though it was a bit part. And I ended up knowing knowing all the cast lines. I feel as though that might have been unnecessary. I'm trying to find a balance. You're not the first person I've known who does that. Oh. I've known a few people who do that. That can be useful. That can be useful, especially if a part needs to be replaced for whatever reason, or in like showtime, someone gets sick or something and they need someone to take over a bigger part. That can actually that can save them. That can be a thing. Oh, I forgot to press start. There we go. So, I never did that personally, but I knew people who did. I don't think it's that out of the ordinary, but if it's like putting a strain or a stress on your life, I wouldn't do that. It's been like 5 months and I can still quote half the show verbatim. That's a really good memory. Well done. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of your call. But if it's like taking up too much mental energy or headspace, then I wouldn't do it. I would, but if it's not affecting you, it's not a bad thing to do. How did I do it? How did I do what? Oh, hello, princess. The princess is coming to say hello. Oh, Maya, welcome. How's it going? Why so early? It's because it's the 4th of July here, and in about 2 hours, my entire neighborhood is about to explode. So there will be no evening stream, because I will be watching for fires and making sure my cats don't die of a heart attack. Because things can get a little intense in my neighborhood. on 4th of July. Oh, yeah. No, I was in theater. Yeah, I was in theater all of high school. How did I do? Just, I mean, I just, am I Mr. Mary? No. I was there. How did I just do theater? I mean, I just memorized. When I had bit parts, like small roles, I just focused on those. I just focused on those roles, but particularly the last 2 years I was in high school, most of my roles were pretty hefty. So I didn't have time. I didn't have time to like memorize a lot of other. It was much more involved. So, but I had a pretty quick turnaround. For whatever reason, I was able to like forget and then memorize very quickly. Like I would not be able to do what you were doing, where 5 months later I would still remember lines from a show. But our shows only ran for like a week, 2 weeks. So I don't know how long your shows run for. So we were able to kind of like turn it around pretty quickly. I think we did two shows a year, and I did a lot of side theater, like side local shows. So I was constantly having to like forget and rememorize. And I was also directing a few stage plays too, so that kind of takes up a lot of my memory. But that was just like for me. I essentially had to save whatever brain capacity I had for what I needed to have memorized, and then quickly get it out as quickly as possible, because I had to move on to the next thing or work on a different thing or whatever it is that I did. For whatever reason, my brain could not hold all of it. I'm about to take a nap, so I can't say, oh, well, have a good nap. Hopefully it is restful for you, Maya. My update. I'm working on chapter 9. Awesome, man. You've moved up. You're doing a lot. And up to chapter 6 is very polished and what I would call mostly complete. Oh, congratulations, Maya. That's fantastic. Huzzah! Well done. That's really, and chapter 9 with 6, they're slowly coalescing. Uh, so that the nice thing is you'll be, by the time you're done with it, you'll be polishing up a chapter behind, which is pretty good. Ghostly, this one's a chunkier part. I was just wondering if you would only read your lines and the lines before yours. Oh, or all. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Um, no, I need the context of the scene, obviously, because my drama teacher and I like this for like acting as well, is you memorize your lines to forget them. So I always needed the context of the scene, whatever scene I was in, the whole scene. So I would need to know what their lines were, generally what their motivations were, and how they felt about a given thing. And because I needed that to enforce how I was going to approach my own lines. Um, and essentially, I'm trying to think. So I would need, yeah, so because my goal was to try to make it as natural as possible for whatever my lines were. So however I was reacting or whatever emotion I was feeling, I needed it to be, because you want it to feel spontaneous. You want it to feel like in the moment, unless you're doing something very stylized and like where that needs like a very specific cadence. Um, However you're trying to inform it, like I'm trying to think back to what shows I did. A few comedies. Um, uh, and because I'm trying to think, because of the way that I felt like most of the shows I read, if they were dramatic, were more naturalistic. They weren't like a stylized, like a little butte play or something like that. So I tried to be very spontaneous. So I needed their lines in the context of the scene, but I wouldn't like memorize anything outside of that. Just the context of the scene or whatever my character would know at the time. Um, I used to paint all the the backdrops of the theater in high school. It's fun. Hey man, hey stagecraft. Stagecraft was some of my favorite. Some of my best friends were in stagecraft. I actually had more friends in stagecraft than I did in the actual like actor drama department. The stagecraft kids were my people. They were all the weird, we were all the weird gothy kids. I was definitely out of place with the actor drama kids. I was the alt kid. My also I saw something was happening with Mr. Mewers, but I'm glad she's doing okay again. Yeah, she's doing well. She just needs to eat more. We did 2 weekends. The experience was really impactful, so I think it's stuck in my brain better than my memory should serve. Yeah, I mean that's I mean, it's if it was like a really, really important show or like a big show for you, those will stick with you. But the other things will fade for sure. All right. I am going to step away and use the restroom before we start our third sprint. So I will be right back, everybody. Oh my goodness. She's just running around screaming at me now. Hello. Hello, princess. Yes, weird goth kid was me to a T. Yes, many of us were. Many of us were. The play is incredibly stylized. It is a rather silly romp. It should be super fun. Sounds fun. Romps are fun. Those are some of the best plays to be in. The shenanigans one. Comedy of errors. Those are always a blast. I was typecast as the basic teenage girl, and some of these lines are absolutely horrible, but I'm gonna perform them with pizzazz. There you go. Hey, sometimes the talent as an actor comes from being able to sell people on terrible lines, and that's all right. That's part of being a good actor. Welcome to the club. I can tell you many people out in Hollywood would probably sympathize with you being like, well, these are terrible lines and I gotta sell them. Piper is snoring and it's the cutest thing ever. Aww, Piper. Piper's a pretty boy. Cat. Oh, thank you, Ghostly. I do love my wizard robe too. My vanity is what causes me to wear it, even though it's hot, and I hate it, and it sucks the life out of me when it's hot. But I will not give up my wizard robe that I wear while I'm writing. I feel like it's integral to my character at this point. I quote, "So, I got a lock of Justin Bieber's hair." Ghostly, I'm pretty sure you can sell that. I'm pretty sure you can sell that line, Ghostly. I think you got it. That also just sounds like a great line for you. for you to try to work with. Just the typical teenage girl, apparently. So honestly, you should let your drama teacher your drama teacher should let you rewrite all the dialogue since you've definitely got a better knack at dialogue. Just make it a witty or snarky teenager rather than typical teenager. And I think you could roll with that. All right, everybody. I think it is time to get back to work. So hopefully it is productive. I am struggling, but it seems like I'm always struggling when I'm trying to break a story down and outline it. For whatever reason, it's like the hardest part is the hardest damn thing to do. but we try. I think so too, and I don't like that I can totally feel that side of myself. That's great. See, that would be awesome, but it's community theater, so we don't get freedom. That's a drag. Oh no, my chat isn't updating. I don't think the last thing I could see is Ghostly Cat. Oh no. Maybe try to refresh it. Or just relink chat, because I see you popping up, but hopefully chat's not broken. Did chat break? Chat break for everybody? Let's see. I think mine's okay. Ghostly, that's all you need. Oh, it just came all at once. Must have got lagged. That's true. I think you might just need Ghostly Cat. And done. All right, everybody. Back to work with us. What time is it? Is it okay? We're gonna probably take this. I think we're gonna take it to 6. We'll see how many more sprints we can get before 6 p.m. because I can already hear it. It's still daylight. There is no reason for you to be letting off fireworks. The whole point of them is when it's night. All right. Anyway, away we go, everybody. Happy writing, and we'll see you on the other side. Right back up. Okay. She's being a princess. That's. I should change my channel to be that. All right. And there we go. Number 3, right? Yeah. Number 3 down. Alrighty. Hopefully that was good for everybody working alongside. Oh, there we go. Let's bring the music back here a little bit. Ugh. I keep oscillating between, oh, this is good, and, oh, this is not going well. So, who knows? Feel like I'm going to have to figure out. I'm just going to have to sit with this, I think, the next couple of days, trying to see if I actually got this figured out. Ghostly, I feel creatively limp. I am a noodle of creativity, but not a creative noodle. Important distinction. Yeah, I think I'm kind of on the same page with you, Ghostly. Yep. I feel like my creative noodle has been inverted into a noodle of creativity, because it's a bit of slog. It's always like this, though. I think it's also because a lot of times when I'm structuring the story, I'm trying to come up with its general identity, kind of what I want it to be and what I think I can get away with. Like, do I want to go full horror, full, like, pulp horror? Do I want to have it to be more grounded into, like, its themes? Or do I just want to go over the top with it and very robust and blunt? And I think that's kind of the tension that I'm struggling with right now, is how far I want to go with it. Yep, it's fine. We will rise above. Indeed, we will push on through to the other side, in the words of Jim Morrison. We hope. We hope. But it's definitely a bit of a rough patch. It could also be I'm not used to working this early in the day. Moon Runes, I've just given up for the night, so I'm chilling and making dinner. But Moon Runes, you've earned it, though. You have been nailing going well above your word count. Just it is a holiday. You just take it easy, enjoy your life, enjoy time, just relax. Look, all I'm going to say is I know it's going to be thank you, Ghostly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be sharing. I know I have a link with a bunch of my screenplays up on the Discord. But I'll when I'm finished writing this one, I'll add it. So I will. Most of them I do try to share once I do like an edit pass. So, but that is very kind of you to say. We'll see how it comes out. We'll see. We will see. Moon Runes, you inspire us all, and I don't know what you're eating, but you enjoy that pasta. Yeah, that's actually probably what I'm going to be doing right after I get done writing, is going and making some sort of dinner. Overachieving my working, that's why I'm okay taking a day. Literally having pasta. Oh. You called it, Ghostly. You called it. Got that pasta. Pasta does sound really good. I'll probably try to cook up some steaks tonight, I think. It is 4th of July. I'll probably do that, but I will also, I have been getting really into doing like soba noodles with 2 eggs, kimchi, and like tuna with like mayonnaise, kind of like a tuna salad a little bit mixed in. It's been kind of the most recent kick for me. It's very good, and I like my noodles. Based on the brief little notey boys, you have based on that, you have interesting characters and like 70% of what that is true. Yeah, you do need the interesting characters, that's for sure. So yeah, and luckily, like with westerns, you kind of get an excuse to make them. You can make them a little over the toppy and kind of have fun with those characters. Moon Runes, that sounds amazing. Yum, yeah, it's been a recent obsession for me. Oh yeah, kids are fish and rice bowls with soy sauce, furikake and seaweed. One of my best friends and an old roommate of mine, she used to. That's what she would do. She would do like a rice bowl with salmon or tuna, with furikake, seaweed, and soy sauce. I do have some furikake that I put on that I put in some dishes that I do. And I just got a miso ginger broth that I want to experiment with a little bit, but yeah, that's good stuff. I used to do just 2 eggs, soba noodles, and kimchi, and that was like my quote unquote hearty breakfast to just try to get me throughout the day. But now that I've added the tuna with mayonnaise, like the sort of tuna salad-y vibe to it, I'm like, oh, this is like a legitimate. It's not even efficient anymore. It's kind of delicious. Ghostly, that's my second superpower. I can sense to the ether what people are eating for dinner. That's a good superpower. It just means you're food motivated. You somehow are in tune with all delicious dishes. But 'tis a holiday. I'm trying not to be super hard on myself about where I'm at script wise with this. It's like, particularly because so many of my favorite westerns, I watched the first like 30 minutes or 40 minutes of Apocalypse Now last night to just try to get a vibe, because I want this to be like a surreal apocalyptic western. And Apocalypse Now is like one of the best sort of like surreal kind of like fever dream of an apocalypse journey, or a journey to sort of the end of the world and the end of time. And it's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And I was trying to see like how pitched it gets, like how extra it gets. Since I'm like, do I want monsters in this? Do I want monsters, like, kind of one of the things about westerns is that monsters are people. How much do I want to like play with that? So it's always finding the line, finding your take on it. That's me. Can't eat half of them, but I can sense them. Oh, I feel so bad for you, Ghostly. But I feel so bad that you can't eat. You and Moon Runes, both of you have like dietary restrictions that just make me sad. Although the one thing I can't eat really bums me out. The one thing that I can't eat are nuts, and that bums me out because I feel like generally the way I eat is like I would benefit greatly from being able to just snack on nuts all day, like almonds, cashews, but I can't because my throat gets mad and angry and swells up, and I can't breathe. Let's see, Ghostly. Don't be cowboys are most of your people. Take a chill. Just enjoy the ride. I feel like Ghostly just turned into like Brad Pitt from True Romance. Just like just taking a drag off a cigarette or like a joint and just being like, hey man, just go with it. Just ride the high, man. Like, you just got super. Ain't no rush in the Wild West. All you got to do is cattle drive and die. Yep, there you go. Ghostly, you're talking like you're talking like a stoner cowboy, and I kind of love it. I don't need Mary Jane to be like. That's true. That's a good way to look at it. That's smart. It's a good way. Yeah. You don't need no Mary Jane. I'm like this already. That's what everyone. I remember my brother told me that about psychedelics because I was always like, maybe I should do psychedelics, and he looked at me and was like, you don't know. You do not need psychedelics. You of all people should not be doing psychedelics. I'm like, oh, okay. That's a good thing to know. Mary Jane needs me. Yeah. Riding high on life. What is happening? All right. What do we got here? Do we have time? Are we going to be able to fit in 2 more before 6? Maybe. We might be able to squeeze in 2 more. Ghostly, hey, one bad trip and you find you've somehow ended up face down in a Waffle House party and convinced Fruit Loops Toucan is hellbent that Fruit Loops Toucan is hellbent to eat your liver. That's probably, I mean, that sounds like a mixture of either, yeah, like, you know, an acid trip gone wrong meets like an episode of like a 90s cartoon. I feel like that could be like a Rocco's Modern Life episode, which might also parallel why it's a it's like a psychedelic thing. That is great, and the last place you want to wind up is a face down a Waffle House. I have a lot of weird memories from Waffle House. Well, in his defense, you did steal fire from Tony the Tiger. That's what we should. Has anyone ever done like retelling Greek mythology but with like cereal mascots? Like, yeah, like someone pulls like a Prometheus and steals fire from Tony the Tiger. Tony the Tiger's like Zeus or not Zeus. I can't remember who it is that Prometheus steals it from. That would be weird. In our postmodern society, that's what it is. We just retell ancient Greek myths with cereal branding. Someone needs to get on that, yeah. We don't need no psychedelics. We are the psychedelics. That's true. I mean, half of everything I write is pretty psychedelic. So I don't think I've ever needed it. So, or at least I doubt I do, because I'm pretty sure if I actually ever did partake in psychedelics, I would probably lose my mind. I do have a Greek myth retelling coming out in an anthology. Oh, that's cool. But it's space opera. No cereal mascots involved. That's probably for the best. The kids are asleep. It is probably. Ghostly. All right, you're gonna go eat some rice. Well, enjoy your rice, Ghostly. I hope you're able to make it as tasty and delightful as possible. Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on our next sprint number 4, I believe. All right, everybody, happy writing, and we'll see you on the other side. everybody, and that is number 4 down. Writing sprint number 4. New Moon Runes. Your new and improved scalpel makes me happy. This is the slow condensing of the chaos. The thing that I need to be able to like highlight it and refer back to when I'm actually doing my drafting. Because lots of times I'll just copy these prime notes over into Scrivener. So this is the slightly more normal one. But thank you. I tried. I learned from you, Moon Runes. I learned from seeing just how rigorously organized yours was, and felt that I too must do better. I must do better with these. 4 thumbs up for 4 successful sprints. I like the ludicrous chaos tree. Don't worry, Ghostly. Anytime I'm working on a new project, that's what it's always gonna look like. Is a monstrosity of ideas just being spewed out on a whiteboard. But unfortunately, I have to clarify these for easy reference when I'm actually writing the damn thing. All right. Well, I kind of sort of, it's real rough, man. It is a rough sketch of the latter half of all of this. But I kind of sort of got it filled out to the end. I still need to figure out many, many things to do with these characters. I will fully admit this is better, but I enjoy how unhinged the chaos tree is. Yes, that's how my brain works. That's how my brain functions. So, there will always be the chaos. There will always be that chaos, the unhinged chaos tree for every project I work on. Kids are asleep. Outlining is hard. It's hard, and I'm not good at it. And I clearly write. I think my work is better when I do like half and half. When I have a general strong beginning, strongish middle, and then at least goalposts at the latter half of the script that I have freedom to navigate and move through. Because I definitely don't work well when I close off the narrative structure in the latter half of the script, because I've written a few where I've had rigorous outlines in the latter half, and it just doesn't feel natural. So clearly my brain just doesn't work in that way where I can appropriately outline that. But I'm trying to get better, at least at the functional outline, to save myself millions of rewrites. And also being able to catch problems that I need to figure out as I'm outlining. So it's a mixture thing, but I do need the sort of like, I have to be able to write it and see it. I definitely write stronger, I think, and more, at least more naturally without the outline. So I'm trying to bridge the gap, the difference. I find I like outlining more than I do editing. I can understand that editing can be real hard. Kids, it's hard, and I'm good at it. I think the two definitely can coexist. I'll tell you what, I've put a lot of work into trying to be a better editor, particularly after going and making a movie where I was like, when you're filming it and then when you're editing it and putting it together and you realize how much you wish you had edited the script to begin with, because it's brutal. It is brutal. I'm always coming up with new story ideas, and then suddenly it's outlined and I have to put it away for later. Man, I'm envious of you, Moon Runes. That's great. That is fantastic. That's just always got new story. I mean, I get a lot of new story ideas, but I'm amazed. And then suddenly you have an outline done. That's impressive. Ghostly. Look, I don't know how far you've made it in Pretension. But at one point, the gang gathers around Maximilian and they all tell tales of his... yes, you do. His unhinged writing power. He was truly a titan amongst men. I wrote him before I met you, but I see the same chaos fire. People will gather and tell tales of Wildlight, the unhinged screenwriter, someday. Thank you, Ghostly. Thank you. I appreciate that. There are usually two things in play with prepping. You feel like you've already written the thing, so you can't write it, or you bore yourself. Yeah. And I do like, and because I struggle, I fight against narrative and I fight structure. I do a lot of fighting against structure. So, or I have to find a different structure that I think works better with what I'm trying to do, which usually means I'm writing against a conventional structure for whatever genre I'm writing in. And so I need the characters to kind of carry it, and dictate the structure for me, and then I can try to refine it later. That's why I have such a hard time writing in a very rigorous structure. I need the characters to carry the narrative. It just tends to be those stories I like, which tend to be very loose structurally. It's the name, I tell you. There's no such thing as a chill dude named Maximilian. That's probably true. There's also there's also that Austrian prince that got beheaded by his people. I mean, they really weren't his people. He was kind of like a colonizing, terrible monarch. But we just aren't chill. All right, we're wound up. Our brains are chaos. That's how it goes. All right. Well, I think because we're creeping up on 6 p.m., I am probably going to call it for the day. I also did finish this initial pass to the end of the story, so I think I'm going to want to take some time and think about what I've got here and refine it, and try to come up with some solutions to these gaps tomorrow. Unhinged Chaos Riders, you will rise to glory. Thank you, Ghostly. You are a bard singing songs of exploits. A true poet, one might say. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. The kids are asleep. It's great, and I hope you feel better. I hope you continue to feel better and it doesn't linger too long. You and the rest of the family. But yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. My usual time. We'll be back probably around like 6 p.m. and we'll do a full 6 sprints. But let us see who we can go and raid. It looks like we've got Strixlin. And yeah, of course, have a classy 4th for all of those who are in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S. and still want to celebrate the 4th, go ahead. I will be braving fires and fireworks tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Have a lovely 4th. Until we meet again, stay classy, San Diego. Thank you, Ghostly. All right, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do Strixlin. Why not? All right. Get us going, and yeah, let's see. Wait, what happened? What happened? Oh no, my thing broke. What's happening? And of course the princess is like, stop, come pay attention to me. Yes, have a great rest of your night as well, Moon Runes, and we will see you. You are just angry apparently. All right. Let's redo this really quick. Come on. I know. Apparently the Twitch browser got really, really mad all of a sudden. Been very, very slow. I know, she's being a baby. She wants this to be over with. Alright, writers. Oh wait, did they just pop? Oh, that's why. I think they just left. Let's see here. That's why. It might be because it's a holiday. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Goodness gracious, Twitch. It's making me take forever. All right. All right, everybody. We are going to raid Strixlin for everybody who's been here. Thank you so much. Oh, let me drop the Discord if there's anybody new. Into the chat. Feel free to join. Thanks for being here. We'll see you all later. Love you all. Happy writing, and we'll catch you all later. While I wait for the raid to load. All right, adios, everybody.